Good evening. India have been beaten comprehensively by Sri Lanka in the Asia Cup by 6 wickets. This after India put up a total of 173 run courtesy brilliant innings from Rohit Sharma, but Sri Lanka came back, and how their batting was superb. Openers really got off to a brilliant start, both scoring 50s, Nishanka as well as Kushal Mendis. 57 for Kushal Mendis in just 37 deliveries. Pathum Nissanka also scored 52 of 37. In the end, India just losing out to a much better side, a side that was better not just in their batting but in their bowling as well. It was an incredible game. Turned out to be a thriller yet again, but India ending up on the losing side yet again. And last over, let me tell you, 7 was needed of 6 deliveries in the last over. It was 6 of 5, 5 of 4, 3 of 3, 2 of 2, and right at the end they won by 1 ball to spare. It was an incredible match, but at the same time, there are now going to be some very tough questions for Team India ahead. Nobody expected them to be almost out of this tournament. Now, a lot of things need to go in their favor for them to qualify for the finals of the Asia Cup. We're going to take you through that as well. What does India need to do? First of all, Pakistan tomorrow are playing Afghanistan. Pakistan need to lose their match to Afghanistan, and then India need to beat Afghanistan, and then Sri Lanka also need to beat Pakistan. So there are a lot of those things that will come into play, but who should be blamed for this? Why are we in a position as a team that has been winning every bilateral series since the T20 World Cup last year, has come into an Asian tournament and have lost to 2 teams in their Super Fours? Let's talk about this with Ashok Malhotra. He joins me here on the show, former Indian cricketer. Also joining me, Santosh Suri, live from Dubai. Gentlemen, I mean, it's going to take me a while to figure out what happened. Sri Lanka just, I mean, they came with, I don't know, they came with this idea of completely demolishing India. I mean, demolishing India. That's the sense that I got. Just the way they batted. We've seen how good Kushal Mendis has been in this tournament, but today nothing that he did could go wrong. Indian bowlers did everything in the beginning. 57 for Kushal Mendis, 52 for Pathum Nishanka. Yuzvendra Chahal got India back into the game in that 1 over, the 12th over, where he took 2 wickets, and you felt that maybe India could come back. But no, Sri Lanka just completely taking the match away. Ashok sir, your first reactions?
See, I would say we all, even when we had last show, we were talking about that it is a do or die for India, and you can't take Sri Lanka lightly. And when they won the toss, it was the advantage Sri Lanka. We knew about their batting lineup. We knew till Rajpaksa comes, till Shanaka comes, they can be very, very lethal, very, very dangerous. And they played like a team which was possessed to beat India. You know, they went all out, beat bowling, beat batting, beat fielding. I mean, in the end, we lost to the overthrows. Can you imagine? Yeah. I mean, a wicketkeeper was not able to hit the stump from 5 yards. You know, so if it would have happened, it still might have gone to the wire. You know, bowlers kind of brought us back, but hats off to Sri Lanka. They've gone from strength to strength. After losing the first game to Afghanistan, they have bounced back, and how? And not to forget, they seem to be going from strength to strength. They were rebuilding the side, but now they seem to be going from strength to strength. And whereas India is going from bad to worse. You know, I would not say, I mean, when we beat Pakistan, did we imagine we are going to be out of Asia Cup? Now we can have hundreds of permutation combinations, but Meha, the writing is on the wall. We are out of Asia Cup.
And it is a huge wake-up call, Santosh. I mean, we've been covering this team, and every time it wins a bilateral series, of course, everybody is raving about how good this team is, and Rohit Sharma, the captain, how good has he been for the team. You know, barring one series that we drew against South Africa, India has won every bilateral T20I series since the World Cup last year. And you almost seem like we're living in this bubble of bilateral series where we're doing well. And the moment you come into a multi-event, a multi-teams tournament, you know, you're found wanting. And this is not the World Cup. This is an Asian Cup. You're not being able to beat Asian teams like Sri Lanka. You're not being able to beat Asian teams like Pakistan. And we're, what, 1.5 months away to the World Cup.
Probably we are carrying the jinx of this multilateral, you know, multinational tournament like World Cup and ACC Asian Cup. So I don't know where we lack in this when we are so confident and we are so brilliant in bilateral series and winning almost everything on the board. Why we come to this platforms where in World Cup or Asia Cup where we suddenly, you know, feel like, is it the additional pressure on the players that is counting, or is it the, you know, burden of so many World Cups and Asia Cups that we have left behind that is coming on us? Just it is very difficult to understand. And of course, there are injuries also. Our bowling attack is not up to that what it should be. We are missing surely Bumrah. We are missing this Deepak Chahar, who's now in excellent form. But you know, if he's with the team, but he has not been able to get into the main 15. I don't know why they kept him out of the 15. They should have, in fact, changed a player right at the start of the tournament. Now they are trying to get Chahar in the 15. Even if he comes in, what's the use now? We are almost at the door being kicked out of the Asia Cup. So it's very, very difficult to analyze how suddenly from a multi-country tournament, we are always, you know, falling behind, and in a bilateral we are always coming on trump. This is really a big issue that needs to be worked out in our by our not only BCCI but team management and everybody, even cricket experts. And I think Team India and the experts need to hear to the outside noise for once, and really, you know, not term experts as just outside noise, and take their advice and see where it can go from here, because World Cup is right on our head.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, yes, Ashok sir.
Neha, last World Cup we won was 2011. It's 11 years down the line. We are supposed to be the best team in the world. Yeah, when it comes to bilateral, we win everything. But the moment that ICC comes, the Asia Cup comes, when the other sides come, we kind of choke. You know, I can compare this Indian team with the South African team, who are great when a bilateral series are being played. But when it comes to the ICC tournaments, the big tournaments, we tend to fail, and we kind of choke like a rabbit in front of headlights. You know, we always do that. We beat World Cup, we beat T20 World Cup, everywhere we have been choked. And it can happen one game, two games, one tournament, two tournaments, not tournament after tournament, tournament after tournament. And as Santosh said, we have to look in the mirror. Are we doing the right thing? Are we picking the right thing? Well, you can't be picking the side at your whims and fancies. You have to pick the side horses for courses policies. So that is what is not happening. And if we go with the same team, and if God forbid, if Bumrah is not fit, because Bhuvneshwar Kumar is looking a shadow of himself, especially in slog, he takes too many runs. You know, he might swing a ball here or there, but he's a shadow of himself.
Yeah.
So we need Bumrah desperately. And I don't mind having Shami back in the squad. You know, Shami is a world-class bowler. Why wouldn't you have him T20 thing? Yeah. You know, and plus, you know, Arshdeep once again showed why he's such a good bowler. But otherwise, it leaves a lot to be desired. Bishnoi should have been played. Yajwant Chahal, although he came good after a long time. But the fact is, it is the batting which is letting us down. Especially when we lose the toss, bat first. When you're batting second, we are a good side. But batting first, we are definitely tend to struggle.
And is that the difference then in a huge way? I know that we discussed this, Santosh said, before this match, that toss does play a huge role in Dubai, no doubt about it, but it is also a team that needs to do well and take that toss out of the equation. I mean, that's what you need to do. If you're batting first, then you need to get those extra 20 runs when you know things are going to get easier for the teams chasing. And it's ironic because Rohit Sharma was in phenomenal form. We finally saw him get to another 50. But it was just him, along with Suryakumar Yadav, who forged a partnership of 97. Otherwise, India would have been in huge trouble. Nobody else, except Ashwin, lower down, who scored the runs. I mean, you can't have everybody failing in the middle order. You know, Hardik Pandya not doing anything. Rishabh Pant coming down at number 6, not being able to score runs. I don't know, with this kind of team and the kind of performance we saw today, this doesn't inspire confidence. This does not look like a team that can go and do well. Forget the winning the World Cup, can do well in the World Cup. Santosh sir?
Yeah, that's true. Like we were discussing before the match that we expect India to get at least 200 to be, you know, a par score here. But leave alone 200, they couldn't even match what they had got against Pakistan. They fell around 10, 12 runs short of that.
Yeah.
And the match, in fact, you know, followed the same pattern. Around that time, 26 were required of final 2 and Bhuvi gave 19. Today, 21 were required. He gave around 15, 16. And of course, that left very little scope for Harshdeep to, you know, save the match for India. And in the end, it was a bit of a comedy of errors. 2 overthrows really finished off the match. Otherwise, it could have still have gone to the final ball, and we could have, you know, if we had tied that match, you could have had super overs. Of course, that's the match part. But of course, there is no doubt that the middle order and lower middle order have failed successively to, you know, count on that good starts that their top 3 have given in 2 successive matches. And at least even a lay person, a spectator or a fan far away says that India require at least 200 to be, you know, competitive in this match. So the team has to target that 200. And if you fail to do that 200, you are bound to struggle. And, you know, in between, maybe they were a bit over ambitious, or their stroke play or their judgment to hit strokes or which strokes to play did lay them down, but ultimately we did fall around 30 runs short.
Yeah.
So that shortcoming has to be dealt with. And like Ashokji said, that our bowling attack, especially the pace attack, where Bhuvi seems to be, you know, a poor shadow of himself in the slog overs, has again come to haunt us in this match too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was looking at Kushal Mendis's numbers, and I remember saying this to Ashar Zaidi when he was on the show, and he was talking about how, you know, against that, I think we were talking about intent and how, you know, Pakistan and India are showing as much intent as some of the other teams in the Asia Cup. And I remember saying this very clearly, that Sri Lanka seems to be one team that I see after that loss to Afghanistan have actually been going out with a very positive approach. And I'm sure Santosh sir, who's watched Sri Lanka play there in those 2 matches, would agree that they have actually been so positive. They've been so aggressive. Kushal Mendis has been phenomenal. Last 3 matches for Kushal Mendis, 60 of 37 balls, 36 of 19, 57 of 37. And he gets ample support from other players as well, Ashok sir. Bhanuka Rajapaksa, I mean, they're all striking at 140, 150. They may play 30 runs, they may get 19 balls, but they'll score, you know, 35, 40 runs, 30 runs, and sort of be able to chase the innings. So in that sense, what we've been hearing from this Indian team is about this aggressive approach, but it's not India who are really playing aggressively. It's Sri Lanka who are doing that in the tournament.
And they are the natural striker. You know, although Sri Lanka has not been firing, but he's a phenomenal striker. Rajapaksa, you know, we know what he can do late order. Shanaka, he has won so many matches, especially the match which comes to mind is against Australia. We got 15, 3 over. So they've got, and on top of that, you got Nishanka, you got Kusal Mendis, who is in a tremendous form. You know, so they have a very good side. And not to forget, they've got they put pressure on us from ball one.
Yeah.
They had, Thikshana got rid of Rahul, then, Madhu Shankar got rid of
Kohli.
Virat Kohli. Because Virat Kohli, as of now, doesn't know which kind of stroke play he has to play. He is trying to reinvent with this new captaincy, new regime. So he's trying to play shots. Normally it takes time. Settle down a bit and then you play your shots. Or from second ball, or he looked like he's going after the bowling and he's trying to take them off. But because like today, up till now we have been seeing the trailers from Rohit Sharma. Today he's shown almost a complete picture. That is what we need from Rohit Sharma. So somewhere along the line, at least that was, maybe he's listening to our show, I would not know, but the fact is, he did the right thing. That is what we expect from him.
Yeah.
And I would say, I am a great fan of KL Rahul, but I would open with Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant is a misfit, late order. In the middle order, he's a misfit. He should either open or he should not part of the team. Because in middle order, when the field is widely spread out, because he knows only way to hit the ball. So he cannot consolidate. If we give him license to hit from the go, then probably he can be used.
Yeah, there are so many questions. I mean, I remember having this similar kind of conversation when India lost in the 2021 T20 World Cup. And one of the things was, we just have 2 matches. It's a T20 format. It can go either way. But it can't happen every time. It can't happen again.
Yes.
It happened then. Again, 2 matches that you've lost. Or, both matches went right down to the wire. The thing is, when you're in a crunch situation, Santosh sir, you're not being able to cross the line. It's as simple as that.
Well, the other simple thing is that we have lost toss. All the matches you are talking, we have lost toss in all the 4 games. So that pressure has been on India. As we know that Dubai has the tendency of team batting second to win more matches. So in all these 4 matches that we are discussing, India did lose the toss. For that, it is very, very important to have not only pass score, but you should have a lot of cushion of say 15-20 runs. And that has been missing on all the 4 matches that we are discussing. And even in these 2 matches, we were saying that in both the matches, we said that India should get over 200 runs to be safe, because we'll be defending and we'll have the problem of, this dew, or maybe whatever they call, whether it is due to the pressure of the bowlers are not up to the standard. So you need a cushion of at least 15-20 runs, and that cushion has been missing. So when you go into a match, you may say that it's a match, and whether you win a toss or lose toss, you have to play well, but you have to make your strategy according to the situation of the ground, where 20 runs extras are required when you are defending the total. So that noise from outside has to go into the ears of the team management.
Yeah. The other thing is lack of an extra bowler. Ashok sir, we spoke about it in the last game as well. India needed an extra bowler. Even in this game, you felt like that was one of the things that was missing. And Hardik Pandya again went for runs. Arshdeep, like Santosh sir also said, there's just so much he can do if Bhuvneshwar is leaking runs. Hardik is being hit all over the park. What does one do? And on top of that, Chahal, he got the wickets, but he was expensive. I mean, you look at them, Arshdeep, again, Arshdeep gave away 40 runs, but he actually did bowl well. Is 1 over in the last over where he really leaked runs. Otherwise, he was still slightly better. But all the others, you look at Bhuvneshwar 4 for 30, Hardik Pandya 4 for 35. You just got the sense that the openers could not be stopped. India tried everything, and they could just not stop the Sri Lankan openers.
See, Meha, they came with an attitude. They came with a strategy. We're going a hammer and tongs after. And first 6 overs, we are going to take full advantage. And once those 6 overs went, and they didn't let go, they kept on going. 94 for no loss. At that time, the body language of the Indian team was that we have already lost it. Those 4 quick wickets brought us kind of back into the game. But the fact is, the Indian team got to realize they are riding on the hopes of billion people, billions. Because that is why the Indian team is very popular.
Yeah.
Because you got expatriates all over the world. They come and watch in the Indian team, and that is and they are all the ambassadors of the Indian team. So they need to, olden time, during our time, the 80s and 90s, going and drawing a match was like winning a match, but not anything. Now we are the number one team. We are the number one team, although we never win a tournament. But we are, I mean, the jokes aside, it's 11 years since we won any ICC tournament.
Yeah.
It is amazing to say the least. We are the best paid people. We are the best side, and despite of that, these home series, we beat everybody hands down. But when it comes to real thing, the crunch thing, and believe you me, it reminds me, we used to call South Africa side chokers. Now the choker tag is needed.
Now, wake-up call. This is a wake-up call. We still have some time before the T20 World Cup. Some big decisions, hard decisions need to be taken. The question is, will they be taken? That's the big question now, because what are those big decisions? I mean, that's first thing you have to figure that out. And on top of that, if they are tough decisions so close to the World Cup, despite this performance in the Asia Cup, will those calls be taken, Santosh sir?
Well, I doubt very much because the time is so less, and hardly, I think, more 6 matches are left. That also on our home pitches, where, like Ashokji said, we are the masters. So even if you play anybody, Rahul will be scoring runs, Virat will be scoring runs, Huda will be scoring runs. So that's not the clear indicator of what the players can do in the World Cup in Australia, because the conditions will be very, very different. So when you play 6 matches on home, and then on that basis you select a team going to Australia, so that will be a bit of a, not matching our what can be expected by the team over there. The second thing is that there are injury concerns also. There is injury to Bumrah, there is injury to Harshal Patel, there is injury to Ravindra Jadeja, there is injury now to Deepak Chahar. So will all these players indeed get fit enough in time to play at least one of the series in India before they are carried to World Cup? If Bumrah is not able to play in either of the series, do you take him directly to World Cup and take a big risk that, okay, he'll play those tough matches in World Cup or on the hard grounds and hard pitches there? Or that are the questions that are faced now as we head back after playing one match against Afghanistan. And hopefully we may have better pitches in, India, where we have a bit of a bouncy pitches to see whether the tournament that we have, series we have against Australia and South Africa becomes more meaningful going ahead to the World Cup.
Yeah, the first big question is, should KL Rahul be there? I think that is the first big question, and they need to address it. Because you may see Rohit Sharma score 70 today and look very good. You can see Virat Kohli score 60 or 44 deliveries. But that, for those two, you still need a Surya Kumar Yadav. You need either a Rishabh Pant or somebody else who can be more aggressive. That's the first thing. Will they take that decision? Yes, Ashok sir.
See, Neha, first and foremost, you got to realize your knocks, are they helping the side? That is very, very vital. Are they match-winning knocks? You can be playing for yourself, but they have to be match-winning knocks. Why Virat is Virat? Because he was the best chaser. We knew, okay, even 180, 200, Virat is there, he'll win it for us. But it is not happening anymore. Yeah. When it comes to KL Rahul, he plays brilliantly in IPL. But when the crunch time comes, he always panics, loses his wicket, and even when as a captain, he ends up losing the match. So I think you asked Santosh sir a question: will we see any changes? No, we will not see any changes, because Rahul is very, very old-fashioned. He is not the one who will take that. And even Rohit, they together. Yeah. I don't think they're going to take tough decisions, because you need to take some tough decisions. This was, as you very rightly said, is a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Will we take that decision? Will we bring some other guys in? No. Will we open with Rishabh Pant? As you very rightly said, KL Rahul. Okay, you have to have him in the team, but have him in the middle order. You know, to strengthen the middle order. And let Rishabh Pant. Or Rishabh Pant in middle order is not good enough. Believe you me, because when field is widely spread out, and it is not first one. He's played 20, 30, 20s. He's not performed. So for me, if Rishabh Pant has to play, he's a good wicketkeeper now. He's probably better wicketkeeper than the next Karthik. Then he should open the innings and given a license to hit. And if he can, because if he gets out, you have not lost anything. But if he gets going, he can turn the game around. So you have to take these kind of chances. And somewhere in the bowling, if Bumrah, God forbid, doesn't play, then who is his replacement? Do you have any replacement for Bumrah? Because will you take Shami now as an afterthought? So I would not. You know, because Avesh Khan is a no-no. Believe you me, if Umran Malik bowls one bad 4 overs and is out of reckoning for a while, Avesh Khan has been bowling bad overs match after match, match after match. But there are different set of rules, different yardstick, different people. So I think that they have to do a lot of rethinking. It should be Chetan Sharma, it should be Rohit Sharma, it should be Rahul Dravid, even the board president. You know, so they all will have to put their heads together to get the best on the park, and will have to take some really, really tough decision. And it is a huge, huge wake-up call.
Okay, so for all of you wondering if India can still qualify for the final, well, Afghanistan need to beat Pakistan, India need to beat, of course, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka need to beat Pakistan, and then the net run rate for India should still be greater than Afghanistan's and Pakistan. Figure that out if you want to. But
let's agree on one thing. Writing is on the wall. We are out of the Asian Cup.
Yeah.
Whatever the permutation Cup is.
And that's the reason. I mean, I sit here right now and I'm wondering that this is. It's almost like we've got back a year. We've gone back a year. You know, what we were in that T20 World Cup, we're exactly where we were then. And I wonder what can be done now, because you have very little time. You have some big names. It's a famed batting lineup. It's not just, you know, bunch of people you've put together. So to take those calls, and and Ashok sir, you've been a selector. You know that these calls are not easy. At the same time, can you take those calls? How is it that all of them are going to be on the same page about every player? And I don't know. It all seems a bit hodgepodge to me right now.
Neha, it is a power game now. See, T20 is a power game.
Yeah.
You know, if you cannot hit big, you cannot survive in this game. You might be the best athlete in the world, like Virat is, turns ones into twos into threes, but you have to hit boundaries. You know, today, except for Rohit Sharma, even Surya Kumar Yadav was struggling. He was he contributed his bit. It was a good partnership. But the Surya Kumar Yadav, one we know of, he was not there. So he was struggling to time the ball. Maybe the wicket was double-paced, I would not know. So, but when Rohit was batting, it looked a different strip. But the fact is, you need some big hitters. You need some big hitters. You know, Rishabh Pant is not a big hitter in T20 cricket. He's a big hitter in one-day cricket and test cricket. But when it comes to 2020 cricket, probably he is found wanting. Only slot for Rishabh Pant is opening the innings. So you have to fine-tune your team if you want it to. If you go with the same team, believe you me, I really don't think us going past the same final.
It also then leads me to the other question, Santosh sir. Has the team become so bad in 2 matches that we should be? I mean, we were raving about Virat Kohli. Weren't people saying Virat Kohli, you know, and I'm talking about former experts, editors of cricket websites calling the vintage Kohli, you know, what a brilliant performance from him. Similarly, it's almost like I get the fact that when a team loses, you need to, you need to ask those questions. But we also need to put this in perspective that this is a team that has been a good team, but at the same time, something goes wrong with this team in events such as World Cup and in this case, Asia Cup. I mean, I don't think anyone would have expected this team to be in this situation before this Asia Cup began. So how should one view the team right now?
Absolutely. That's what we have to look into. The same pattern has followed what was there in World Cup, where we lost the opening 2 games and rest of the 3 games became just, mathematical for us, and nothing came out of it. The same thing has now happened. 2 games we have lost here and the 3rd game has become inconsequential. So why does this happen again and again in a platform, at the world platform or Asian platform, that we, in the first 2 matches, we just fail to, get wins, and then we are at a place where we don't know what to do. Probably like Ashok sir has said, that we need some, drastic changes. Maybe it's the ideal time to get Rishabh Pant to open and a couple of good fast bowlers who are there, very strong, beefy type of fast bowlers we have in Mohsin Khan and Umran Malik. They need to be tried out honestly and sincerely. If they had been given as much chance, probably as much Avesh Khan got, probably we would have got the answers today. But then we are at a stage where we need to really hurry up, because we have just got around 35 days and 6 T20 matches at home. And will we be able to find any, replacements, any magic, or will we find that momentum going into the World Cup? That needs to be seen. And and there is no as such a big T20 tournament going on back in India. They are going to have the Dilip Trophy. So I don't know if they can pluck out any, special talent from the Dilip Trophy and Irani Trophy matches back home. So probably they could have had some T20 tournament now, and could have plucked up a couple of good upcoming players from there and drafted them into the Indian team. But I don't think it's going to happen in a hurry there. And probably we'll have to rely on this team only to bail us out in the World Cup.
Do you also get the sense, Ashok said, that this is about pressure as well? These players, Indian team, is full of superstars. I mean, these are players. There's no other way to look at it. The pressure of performing on a world stage when you're being seen as superstars, when millions are following you. When you look at Sri Lankan players, they have nothing to lose in a sense. They're not superstars in their country. And I mean, this is such a small little, what would you say, happiness that that country that is dealing with so much will get, because they are in the final. But with the Indians, it's completely different. They are playing the best league in the world. They are, like I said, in the limelight all the time. They've got a huge fan following. They earn much more than cricketers from all other countries. Is that the pressure that gets to them on a world stage?
Definitely, you hit the nail on the head. We are a team of superstars. Which other side in the world is? Which is full of superstars? Australia? No. Team is superstar. So New Zealand, which always reaches the same final, which is the dark horse of any ICC tournament. They don't have a star among them. Williamson, he is not a superstar. He is one of the balls. Same with India, except for India, where we have so many. We can count we have got 11 superstars, but team is not a superstar. That is the angle. Whereas the other sides, team is a superstar. They don't have a superstar among them. So our players play for their egos. You think Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma or Rishabh Pant or Hardik Pandya are playing for the side? If you look at Sri Lanka today, they were all playing to win. It was a collective move to win. Whereas we were 11 individuals who were playing for their own respective images. Because they are big, very, very big in their own right. They are very, very big. And it is a fact. You really hit the nail on the head by saying our team is a team of superstars. Can you imagine in a film 11 superstars? Do you know what will happen to that film? That is exactly what is happening. You know, everybody is playing for his own image. You think anybody is playing for India? No. They're playing for Chelsea. They're playing for their image. They're playing for their, because they are playing the best league. They're getting the best money. They are having the best time. But then why? When you talk about American NBA League, when the dream team goes to Olympics, they win the Olympics every time. They hands down. So we have a dream team, but it does not win in the World Cup. It does not win the ICC tournaments. So that is there is something missing which can glue them together.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. It is the job of Rahul Dravid and the skipper.
Yeah, I just also think that maybe this is, you know, this could have come later. It's good that it's come now. So whatever changes that they might think are at least possible for them to make can be made now. I'm sure they're not going to go for big changes, you know. But whatever changes they can make, whatever are, you know, their plans or what can I say, disaster management, in case plan A doesn't work, B doesn't work, C doesn't work, what do you do? That all of that can be put into place, because this is indeed a wake-up call. Nobody would have thought that India are almost out of the Asia Cup after playing the first two matches in the Super 4 straight away. I mean, we were looking forward to an India-Pakistan final. We're far, far away from that. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Ashok Malhotra, Santosh Suri, for joining us here. News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to. It's already 12, so good morning to you all and goodbye.